Previously on Hannibal.
Hannibal!
We are as close as we are ever going to get to catching this man.
I'm dismantling who I was and moving it brick by brick. It's the last stage of a transformation. We could disappear now.
You've set some sort of trap and you're goading Hannibal into it. How can you be sure he's not goading you?
I can't.
I have begun to question your actions with regards to my attack.
I am no longer your therapist.
You are dangerous.
Anthony Dimmond.
Boris Yakov.
I'd offer a hand, but...
It's a double-fisted kind of bash.
Do you know Roman well? He was staring with the thinly veiled disdain of a man who does. I was his TA at Cambridge. He was insufferable even then. Have you read his books? They're terrible. You know they're terrible, you're just too polite to say. Blink if you agree. See? That doesn't stop him squatting over his keyboard and depositing a fresh one every 6 to 8 months. It takes me 6 to 8 months to write one line.
Why?
Poetry's hard. Too hard for Roman. Well, it's easier for him to slide into academia and dissect the work of others than it is to stand by his own words.
One can appreciate another's words without dissecting them. Though, on occasion, dissection is the only thing that will do. Bonsoir.
Bonsoir. Bonsoir.
Bonsoir. Bonsoir.
Really are the devil. Certainly seem to enjoy it. You have a click in your hoof.
The devil has been a yoke on the neck of humanity since we first began to think and dream. I, for a much shorter time.
You admit the yoke. Smells of candy apples and thyme. You smoked me in time.
Smoked, glazed, served on a sugarcane quill. You'll be falling off the bone.
Well, of course. And with these rarefied dishes you so carefully prepare, do we all taste different?
Everyone has their flavor.
Cannibalism was standard behavior among our ancestors. The missing link was only missing because we ate him.
This isn't cannibalism, Abel. It's only cannibalism if we're equals.
This is only cannibalism if you eat me. But you just feel this is the natural order of things. Everybody gets ate.
Be he fat or be he lean.
With my last leg standing next to me, I should still wrestle with the urges to fight or flee.
It's called terminal restlessness. The body fills with adrenaline and feels compelled to go, go, go.
Go, go, go. I've already got up and gone. This is posthumous.
You're not dead yet, Abel. You still have to eat.
No, I don't. At this point, there's absolutely nothing I have to do. But I shouldn't spoil the fairy tale, should I? You and your little gingerbread house.
Let it be a fairy tale, then. Once upon a time. Bellissima.
Grazie.
Dr. Fell. I hope you translate as well as you waltz. Mrs. Fell.
Our new appointee was confirmed by the board after close questioning.
You've examined him in medieval Italian, and I will not deny his language is admirable.
Thank you.
For a straniero. Are you familiar with the personalities of pre-Renaissance Florence? I think not. Dr. Fell might hold in his hand, in his non-Italian hand, a note from Dante Alighieri himself. Would he recognize it? I think not.
Professor Soliato, would you do me the honor of a dance?
Of course.
Allegro mi sembrava amore, tenendomi il cuore in mano. E nelle braccia aveva Madonna involta in un drappo dormendo. Poi la svegliava a destro cuore ardendo. Lei, spaventosa, umilmente, pascea. La preso gir, non ne vedeva piangendo. Dante's first sonnet. It fascinated Cavalcanti. The eating of the heart is a powerful image.
If he's such an expert on Dante, let him lecture on Dante. To the studiolo. Let him face them. Extempore.
I'm happy to sing for my supper.
Professor Soliato.
We're among the palaces built 600 years ago by the merchant princes, the kingmakers, and the connivers of Renaissance Florence.
As connivers of modern Florence.
I found a piece here that I would preserve. I've killed hardly anybody during our residence.
You created a vacancy at the Palazzo Caponi by removing the former curator.
A simple process requiring a few seconds' work on the old man. And a modest outlay for 2 bags of cement.
You no longer have ethical concerns, Hannibal. You have aesthetical ones.
Ethics become aesthetics.
You seem more interested in making appearances than maintaining them. Could you?
If this is about my position at the Palazzo, once the path was cleared, I won the job fairly. On my merits.
Yes, even the most contentious Florentines can't resist the verse of Dante ringing off her frescoed walls.
One contentious Florentine can.
Have you given serious thought to eating Professor Soliato?
My killing Suliato now would not preserve the peace.
Your peace is without morality.
Morality doesn't exist. Only morale.
How you feel today?
How do you feel today?
I still believe I am in conscious control of my actions. Given your history, that's a good day. think you're about to catch Hannibal, it's because he wants you to think that. Don't fool yourself into thinking he's not in control of what's happening.
May I get dressed?
You may. What have you done, Hannibal?
I've taken off my personal suit.
You let them see you.
I let them see enough.
How does it feel? Being seen.
Well, you're in no position to ask, Dr. Dumoyer. You ended our patient-psychiatrist relationship.
I lacked the appropriate skills to continue your therapy.
I never found you to be lacking.
I'm sorry I didn't provide you with a suitable substitute for therapy. Is Will Graham still alive?
Will Graham was not a suitable substitute for therapy.
What was he?
Is this professional curiosity?
Almost entirely.
Do you trust me?
Not entirely.
Have you taken into consideration my beliefs about your intentions?
My intentions.
Human motivation can be little more than lucid greed.
Greed. And blind optimism.
You're optimistic I won't kill you.
2 bottiglie di Botta Montrachet e tartufi bianchi, per favore.
Hello. Bonjour. Mr. Yakov, isn't it? We met in Paris a few months back. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. It's just, here I was, and then there you were. I never forget a face.
Anthony Dement.
Nice to be remembered.
You're hard to forget.
What are you doing in Florence? Are you working with Roman?
Dr. Fell?
I heard he took an appointment at the Capone Library.
Yes, he's the new curator and translator at the Palazzo Capone.
Evidently the last one eloped with a woman. Or someone's money. Or both.
That's a commonly held belief. You just missed Roman.
Did I? Oh, I was hoping to take the piss.
Spare the piss for the time being. If you are free, my wife and I would love to have you for dinner. Listen. They prefer eating in company. I've kept Cochlear Gardens since I was a young man. Fattening snails on herbs and vine leaves. Like all of us, what they eat greatly influences and enhances their flavor.
When I'm not busy eating myself, you wish me to be eating oysters, drinking sweet wines, and snacking on acorns. All to make me tastier?
Oh, yes. And you're making them tastier.
And you. Imagine what you must taste like. Won't be long until someone's taking a bite out of you.
You're becoming brighter, Abel. Dying hasn't told you one bit.
The snails are certainly having a lovely experience. Fattened on me in a red wine marinade. They have no idea they're going to be eaten. We do.
How well do you know the Fells?
As well as anybody. Would you be not really? Lydia, a friend of yours?
Not really.
I'd be surprised to hear she had one. We share a mutual detestation. She disapproves of my disapproval.
What do you disapprove of?
Roman, mainly. Lydia isn't quite bright enough to see I'm just intimidated. Roman does, of course. Well, he loves to strike fear.
Dante wrote that fear is almost as bitter as death.
Dante wasn't dead when he wrote it.
You're traveling alone, Anthony.
The only way I travel.
Oh. Roman is speaking to the Studiolo Friday on Dante. You should come.
Sounds appropriately hellish. Are you avoiding meats?
I'm trying not to eat anything with a central nervous system.
Oysters, acorns, and masala. That's what the ancient Romans would feed animals to improve their flavor.
My husband has a very sophisticated palate. He's very particular about how I taste.
Is it that kind of party?
It's not that kind of party.
No. It really isn't.
Shame. You're both suddenly so fascinating. Buonasera.
Buonasera.
Buonasera. You let him go.
What would you have me do, Bedelia?
Due bottiglie di Batard Montrachet e tartufi bianchi, per favore. Grazie.
Bedelia.
He attacked me.
Is that your blood?
No.
You were defending yourself?
was reckless.
This wasn't reckless violence. It was a controlled use of force.
I know what happened.
Do you?
He was your patient before he was mine.
He died under your care. You were not defending yourself. I can help you tell the version of events you want to be told. I can help you if you ask me to.
Will you help me?
In accord with my own taste for the pre-Renaissance, I present the case of Pietro della Vigna, whose treachery earned him a place in Dante's hell. He was disgraced and blinded for betraying his emperor's trust. Dante's pilgrim finds him in the 7th level of the Inferno, reserved for suicides. Like Judas Iscariot, he died by hanging. Judas and Pietro della Vigna are linked in Dante's Inferno. Betrayal, hanging, then linked since antiquity, the image appearing again and again in art. This is the earliest known depiction of the crucifixion, carved on an ivory box in Gaul about AD 400. It includes the death by hanging of Judas, his face upturned to the branch that suspends him. On the doors of the Benevento Cathedral, we see Judas hanging with his bowels falling out. And here, from a 15th century edition of the Inferno, is Pietro della Vigna's body hanging from a bleeding tree. I won't belabor the parallels with Judas Iscariot. Betrayal, hanging, self-destruction. Io feci petto a me della mia casa. I make my own home be my gallows. Mr. Nimmond, welcome. Please join us. We were just about to discuss the matter of queuing in Dante. Thank you for your kind attention. Thank you. Would you say I secured my position, Professor Soriato?
Well, Studiolo seemed satisfied.
Satisfied? I thought the applause was downright enthusiastic. In its soft and dusty way.
Dr. Fer is a friend of yours?
I was his TA at Cambridge. The tales I could tell.
Please do.
What kind of friend would I be?
What kind of friend, indeed? Dottore?
An exposition of atrocious torture instruments appeals to connoisseurs of the very worst in mankind.
Now that ceaseless exposure has calloused us into the lewd and vulgar, it's instructive to see what still seems wicked to us.
What still slaps at the clammy flab of our submissive consciousness hard enough to get our attention?
What wickedness has your attention, Mr. Nimmond?
Yours.
Dr. Fell.
I have no delusions about morality. If I did, I would have gone to La Polizia. I'm curious as to what fate befell Dr. Fell to see you here in his stead.
You may have to strap me to the breaking wheel to loosen my tongue.
You overestimate my affection for the genuine Dr. Fell. Clearly, you found him as distasteful as I did.
On the contrary.
We can twist ourselves into all manner of uncomfortable positions just to maintain appearances, with or without a breaking wheel.
Are you here to twist me into an uncomfortable position?
I'm here to help you untwist, to our mutual benefit.
Observe or participate.
What?
Are you in this very moment observing or participating?
Observing.
You say you're observing, but this is participation, Bedelia. Did you know what he would do? I would prefer your answer, honestly.
I was curious.
You were curious what would happen. You're curious what Mr. Dimmond would do, what I would do. Did you anticipate our thoughts? Counter thoughts, rationalizations?
Yes.
Is this what you expected?
Yes.
That's participation. What have you gotten yourself into, Bedelia? Shall I hang up your coat? Would you rather I extended you the same kindness as to escargot?
eating me without my knowledge. Well, I find knowing to be far more powerful. Why do you think I'm allowing this?
Why do you think I'm allowing this?
Because snails aren't the only creatures who prefer eating with company. If only that company could be Will Graham. I'm just fascinated to know how you will feel when all this happens to you.